Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Denver Broncos. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. First carry for Najee Harris. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the first round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
And Pat Freiermuth picks up a first down with a nice catch there. He was the second tight end taken after Kyle Pitts in the draft. Went in the second round out of Penn State. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were looking for a big target. After the retirement of Vance McDonald, he's showing signs of being that guy already.
The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the give, this is Harris. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Play action. Garoppolo. This is intercepted.
Picked off by the rookie corner, Pat Surtain.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers, but instead they'll keep the possession on the INT.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Trying to gauge the sun, and he muffs it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Now back to throw. That's going to be caught by Judy. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10.
And the Broncos are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Beautiful throw right there on third down, and it looked like this was going to be 6 points, but a nice touchdown-saving tackle at the end of this. Even still, this offense is knocking on the door now with a first and goal at the 1.
First and goal at the 1.
Back to throw again. Touchdown, Broncos. Noah Fant, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Ray McCloud to return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
21. There we go.
They hand this off to Harris, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First and 10 at the 44.
So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
It's our time, guys. It's our time. Tens the mic.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Garoppolo.
Open man, completes it to Claypool.
And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up deep.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Najee Harris.
His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Boswell good with the extra point.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing second and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Play fake. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Oh, some strong running. Found good room to run there. Returns of 14 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
First down.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
And Deontay Johnson has seen his share of targets increase in his first 2 years in the league, and last year finished with 88 catches. Continuing to work on grabbing everything that comes his way. A nice catch there.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8. A give to Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly, because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
K.J. Hamler returning it. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
2nd and 6. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
It's now 3rd down and 4. Here we go. Black 80!
On play action, it's Garoppolo. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Hamler now to return it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down. At the 19.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You bring back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
Different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Bridgewater. And Gordon's got it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Throwing, Bridgewater. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
At the Steelers' 44-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Von Miller. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Doing with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Play fake. Bridgewater. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
McLeod now on the return. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down throw for Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL.
Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's Bridgewater. We're going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. There he goes right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So that is 2 pick sixes he's thrown in this football game. Now you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now. Okay, so they can't just mentally go, well, if we had thrown those pick sixes, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Bridgewater's throw taken in by Sutton. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. Bridgewater to Sutton, 1st down, Denver. Now Gordon on 1st down. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Bridgewater's throw into the hands of Fant. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. Bridgewater to Fant, 1st down Broncos. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And they'll get this down to the 10. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And if Noah Fant keeps making catches like that, it might not be too long till we say he's one of the top 5 tight ends in football. When he was drafted, that was the expectation.
They go play action. Bridgewater. He'll buy some time right. Oh, and Bridgewater intercepted for the 3rd time. picked by Jeff Gladney. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
In on the stop there, Alexander Johnson, the Broncos' leading tackler last year.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 33. That one goes for 24 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Finding room to the 20, and he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 104 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over in your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the sneak is Garoppolo, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Hamler now to return it. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Flush to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
You would think that he had baseball in his past, the way he patrols center field and goes and gets the footballs he just did there. An all-pro for the Steelers each of the last 2 years. His first 2 years with the franchise, he led them with 4 interceptions in 2020.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I just wonder if before that last play, if someone on the defense stepped in the huddle and said, we've been run over, run around, run through all game long. Can we come up with one stop right here? And on that play, they did.
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Here's 3rd and goal now from the 9. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And Boswell's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal here.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Hamler now to return it. And able to get this out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and 10, Bridgewater. Into the secondary, past the 40. There goes Green, the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Play action now. Bridgewater. And it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick 6s from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick 6s in a game? You want to leave him out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
That is taken in by the tight end Fan. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And they call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. To throw is Bridgewater. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Desperation time, 4th down, Bridgewater. This is the tight end Fant. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 1st down, Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. This pass caught by Hamler. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. On play action, it's Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
But that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
On 1st down, it's Harris. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They'll run on 1st down. Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. The Broncos say they have it. They do. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose, and is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
On second down, this is Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. They'll run again with Harris. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Seattle Seahawks come to town. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.